Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Y'all are going to love today's video. I am very excited about it. As you can tell, it was super fun. I used some inspiration from the thrift store, of course, and also items that I had on hand. So let's just go ahead and get started with the projects. Recently, I found a ton of vintage wooden bobbins, and they're all available on my website, but selling quickly, so you might want to check it out. When I saw this one with the orange top, I immediately thought about turning it to a carrot. So I had some orange yarn in my stash, so I'm just going to wrap it around until it looks the way that I want it to look. You could also use thread or fabric or whatever you have on hand. Then I grabbed the Baby's Twilight bush. I love this one. It definitely has vintage vibes, and I just plucked a few sprigs of greenery off of it and just stuck it right in the top of the bobbin. I don't want to glue it. I don't want it to be permanently here, but if you push it in good, it is not going anywhere. And how adorable is this little carrot? And y'all know I like sets of 3, so I made 3 of them. I use vintage bobbins in my decor all over my house. They look great in little white pitchers or clear pitchers, and they just add a little pop of color. And these little carrot ones for spring are just so adorable. I could hardly handle it. Check out these cuties. They are some little wooden sheep, and we're going to give them a little vintage makeover. So I took the Dixie Belle Van Dyke Brown glaze, and I'm just going to brush it on here really quickly, and instantly it's going to give it an aged look. Look at the before and the after. Now I'm going to grab some yarn. I got these 2 balls, I believe, from the Goodwill bins. I'm sure that's where it came from. So now I'm just going to wrap my yarn around the sheep, and the more yarn you put, the bigger and the fluffier your sheep will be. So I did the 2 different color yarns that I had, and then I felt like I really want to do the third one in a different color. Luckily, at an estate sale this weekend, I did grab this white yarn right here, so I used that for my third sheep. And look how precious this little trio is. They are just the perfect size to add into your spring vignette. Actually, I feel like you could leave these out all year long because they are not overly spring, and they do stand up on their own. This would also be a super fun project to do with your kids. I do have some of these blank sheep available on my website if you're interested, and I will leave a link in the description. I for sure need this amazing spoon. And you know what? Let's just go ahead and get that one too. Like this one. Oh wait, what is this? Is this a spoon? I don't know. I like the color of it. It'll look good with my other pieces. And I'm gonna get this one too. I always pick up wooden spoons when I find them thrifting. We have a ton of them in our kitchen because I like cooking with them. They don't scratch up your pots. They look beautiful in a pitcher full of florals, also in a basket. I mean, honestly, I haven't found a spot that wooden spoons don't look good. I like sprinkling them in throughout my decor, and I also do DIYs with them. How cute is this project I did a few years ago? And then I have this artwork in my kitchen, just a wooden spoon and a fork on a frame. I want to do a really cute, fun, easy project. My 5-year-old absolutely loved this and keeps moving what she calls this bunny spoon all around the house. So the first thing I'm going to do is give this wooden spoon a whitewash. I spritz it with my Fusion Mister, and I'm taking a Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Cotton. It's a beautiful white color, and I'm just going to brush it on the entire piece. And then I'm going to take a paper towel and just wipe off the excess, and that is a quick, easy way to do a whitewash on a wooden piece. The Dollar Tree sells this amazing wired twine. I can't always find it, so if you find it, definitely pick it up because it is a great thing to have in your stash. So I'm just going to cut 2 little pieces and shape them in bunny ears, and then I'm going to hot glue them to the back of my spoon. Now we need to make a bunny face, which for some reason I was super nervous about. I thought I was going to mess it up. So I practiced a bunch of bunny faces on my notebook. And then I even drew it out in pencil and grabbed a Sharpie and just traced over the lines. The nose is super easy. Just draw a little tiny heart, and that makes it extra adorable. Next, I want to add a little bit of blush to the cheeks. I think that just, brings the cuteness over the top. So I grabbed Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Tea Rose. Absolutely love this color. It's like a dusty pink. I'm just going to put a little bit of water on my brush and then a tiny, tiny bit of paint. I mean, it takes the smallest amount of paint and it's just like applying a blush. Just put a tiny amount on the cheeks of your little figurine. You can stop here. It looks absolutely adorable, but I'm going to add a little lace bow to the neck of my bunny. And then, of course, a pink bow on its ear because I knew my daughter would absolutely love that. Spring is fun and bright and full of whimsy, so don't forget to add those kinds of pieces to your spring decor. Plus, this was just a super cute little DIY project. As many of you know, we are building a new home, so I absolutely want to protect that asset. So I am very excited to tell y'all about today's sponsor, Home Title Lock. Did y'all know that scammers can literally steal your house from right under you? The FBI calls it house stealing, and it is a growing real estate scam targeting American homeowners. And here is how it works. The criminals forge your signature on one document, use a fake notary stamp, pay a small fee, file it with your local recorder's office, and just like that, your home title has been transferred out of your name. They can take out loans using your equity or even sell your property behind your back. And you won't even know it's happening until you start getting collection and foreclosure notices. So when is the last time you checked your home title? I know that I never have on none of my properties, and that is what scammers are counting on. That is why I trust Home Title Lock. Their $1 million triple lock protection, keep your home and equity safe, and here is what you get. Immediate 24-hour monitoring of your property, urgent alerts if there are any changes. And if fraud should happen to you, their US-based restoration team will spend up to $1 million to fix the fraud and restore the title to your name at no additional cost. And here's the best part. I have teamed up with Home Title Lock to bring y'all a $250 value just for signing up. So you're going to get a free title history report to see if you've already been a victim of this, and you're also going to have access to your own personal title expert. So go to hometitlelock.com. Make sure you use my promo code Julie250. And while you're there, don't forget to check out all of the details of their $1 million triple lock protection. That is hometitlelock.com. Use code Julie250 and get the protection and the peace of mind that we all deserve. Ooh, here's some silver pieces. Look how pretty the florals are on here. I think I'm gonna get a few of these. There is no shortage of these silver trays at the thrift store, but they may not be your thing, but they do come in lots of amazing shapes and sizes with beautiful images and embellishments on it. So if you don't like the silver, guys, you can absolutely paint it. I've done a ton of times, and chalk paint sticks to everything. I'm using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Cotton. It is just a beautiful white color. I don't find it has any undertones of yellow or gray in it. So if you're looking for just plain white, Cotton is your color. So I'm going to put 2 coats of paint on here, and I am not going to paint the bottom. I'm only going to paint the top. I don't mind a little silver, so I think it'll look pretty to keep it on the bottom, and I also want it to peek through on the top, so I'm going to take a very light grit sandpaper, and I'm going to sand all of the edges to bring back the silver through, and of course on these beautiful florals, I want to bring back all of the details on that. And don't forget to seal your chalk paint. I'm going to be using a Dixie Belle clear coat and a flat finish. You can use trays in so many different ways, but I like to, as you can tell, layer all of my pieces. And I thought this tray looked really pretty layered in front of this basket, and look how good it looks with my white collection. So this is a great option if you're unable to find vintage white pieces. You could get some other vintage pieces and just paint them white. Check out this book. It's full of cross-stitch patterns, and they even have little patterns to put on wooden spoons. I love that idea. I'm not going to be cross stitching, but it absolutely sparked an idea. So I'll grab some wooden spoons and the IOD paint inlay. This is lattice rose, and it has all of these gorgeous patterns and small florals. So that is really what I was looking for. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to use one tiny bit of one of the pages of this paint inlay, and I'm going to cut out some of the florals. The great thing about this inlay is that how it's spaced out, you could use it as an overall pattern, or you can just cut out little pieces like I'm doing to put on smaller projects. Chalk paints work best with paint inlays, so I'm using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Cotton, and I am just going to be painting a little oval on the inside of the front of the spoons, you know, where it kind of dips in. And I'm just using my artist brush, and it's just giving me a very clean line. But honestly, I am not going for perfection here. I feel like that is the #1 rule for paint inlays, is just do not worry about perfection. We're going for a kind of distressed age look. So I'm going to quickly get just kind of one thick coat of white paint on here. And then I like to take my spritzer and just spritz my paint just to make sure it is fully wet. Then you're going to grab your paint inlay, and you want to make sure it's paint side down. So the brighter side is going to go into the chalk paint, and you're just going to lightly tap it in place. You're going to grab your Fusion mister, and you're going to mist your paint inlay again, and then I like to tap it lightly once more just to make sure that your paint inlay is in the wet Dixie Belle chalk paint, and then you're just going to let it dry. You're going to know when it's dry because it's going to be light again. You're going to take your Fusion mister once more and spritz it again. So it is a little bit of a process, but it goes really fast, and it's just such a cool effect. All right, this is my favorite part. We are now going to pull the paint inlays off, and how cool is that? So it's actually paint that gets embedded into the paint, and do not crinkle up your inlays. Put them to the side because we're going to be using them again. But let's go with a different color this time. Let's use vintage duck egg blue. It is one of my favorite chalk paints for spring. It's just such a beautiful color. So same thing, going to paint them, going to put the paint inlays in. Now they are ready to be taken off. The second time around is going to be a much more distressed look. I actually love the second time. I feel like there was a little bit of user error on my part. I don't think I pushed hard enough in the center, because as you can see, the paint inlay did not transfer in the center. So I think I just didn't push hard enough. So learn from my mistake. Make sure you push good on the center to make sure your paint inlay is in your chalk paint. So how about we do this a third time? And the cool thing about the paint inlays is it's going to also transfer the paint from the previous use. So I'm using Dixie Belle chalk paint in the color Cotton, the same one that I used on the first use, but now we also have some vintage duck egg blue on our paint inlay that is going to transfer as well as the image. So third use is going to be even more of a distressed look, and that's where those full pages of patterns look really cool, because you're going to have colors that transform more than others. And like I said, it's just a really cool effect that you can't achieve with any other product I have ever tried. And remember that it is water-based, so you see how some of the paint got on the wood of the spoon. That is really easy to take off if you want it. All you have to do is wet distress it, and it comes right off. How beautiful, aged, and vintage that these come out, and they look great in a little collection. I could not be more happy with how these came out. And even though I love the way they came out on spoons, I have so many other ideas of little things that you could put them on, and just using the same paint inlay over and over again just really gives it a cohesive look. Well, that is the end of today's video. I told y'all it was going to be fun. I don't know if I can pick a favorite in today's video. Everything was just so cute. I mean, the spoons, the cute little bobbin carrots, the adorable little sheep. OMG, if you love these, make sure you run to my website because I feel like they're gonna sell out really fast. So if you can pick a favorite in today's video, leave a comment below. And of course, all the paint products and beautiful home decor is available on my website, juliesdesignsandsigns.com. I hope y'all enjoyed today's video. I hope you were inspired. It is time to start creating the spring DIYs. I don't know about where y'all are at, but where I am, it is finally starting to warm up. I am so over this cold weather. Let's bring on the spring. So I will see y'all next week for another DIY thrifting videos. Y'all have a great day. Bye, guys.